Howdy howdy y'all, welcome back to my channel. It's K Fiercene, and in today's video we're going on some fishing tips and tricks. So if you enjoy Palia content, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and let me know down in the comments if you're excited for the new fishing plushies, you know? And because I figured since they were releasing new fishing plushies, we'd go over what I do with I'm fishing. And my first tip is when you're catching a fish, you want to make sure that when you move the brackets left and right, that you keep that fish on the very edge of the bracket. Don't try to put it in the middle, because when it shifts the other way, it's going to be a lot harder for you to shift it in the opposite direction. So keep it right on the edge, and you'll have a much easier time catching the fish. Now, in my second tip is going to be when the fish jumps out of the water, what you want to do is release that reel in button, and when it happens, the bar will go yellow and you won't lose any HP of your fishing rod while that fish is in the air, and saves you a lot of rod health boosts and just makes it a lot easier to get those more jumpy fish that they've got going out there. So my next little tip is do smaller fishing casts. You just want to barely tap it and send it out there, because the smaller the cast, in my opinion, the easier and the less wiggling that they tend to do, and it tends to make things a lot easier if you just do a small little cast versus a big long cast and going all across the area. Plus, you know, if you're hard to see like I am, it's much easier to see the bracket when it's a lot closer together. So the next section we're going to go over are food buffs. There are 5 food buffs in this game for fishing, and some of them are easy to get, some of them are a little late game, but starting off with an easy first early game, it's going to be fish stew, which increases the speed of which you will reel in the fish. Super nice, allows you to get them a lot quicker. The next one is fisherman's brew, which increases the size of the brackets parentheses that's in the water to keep it easier. And the sashimi increases your fishing rod health, and sushi increases your rod health recovery. And then you get trout dinner, which makes the hook time quicker, you know, when you're waiting for a fish to bite. And all of these food buffs are great to get. They're great to hold on to, and, you know, make a big batch of them, stack them up, and bring them out with you when you go fishing. Now, the next buff we're going to talk about is hooks. And my favorite hook to buy is the one that's available in ENR's shop called Major Safe Zone Size Booster. Costs 5 coins. Whenever I'm maxed out on fishing metals, that's what I spend a lot of my fishing metals on. I stockpile them up. They're a great one to have because it basically, like the fisherman's brew, it increases the bracket size to make it easier to keep your fish inside those parentheses brackets, you know? That we ain't gotta move as much because you've got more room to roll around in here. And it's super great, and I love it. Now, the next one we're going to talk about is cooking fish, because cooked fish is the best food to put into your worm farms and your glowworm farms. You're going to get the most worms out of it. So what you want to do is get 4 or 5 campfires, put them in a circle, and then as you can see here, I'm just literally grilling this fish, then moving on to the next one, grilling the next one. And then once you get your circles done, you're going to start all over at the first one, grab it, put out the next one. Then you're going to grab it, pull out the next one. It's real easy, real simple. You level up your cooking as well, and it gives you so many grilled fish so quickly. You just want to make sure that you have any fish that's in your storage that you don't want to cook into your lockbox, because it will take, if you're not careful to take fish out of your storage, you'll get in that habit of doing things. But, and then when you're having so many glowworms coming in, you definitely got to figure out a way to store them. And what I do is I generally, unless I actually need them, I keep extra ones in my worm farms. because there's no reason to keep them in my ammunition bag because you have such limited ammunition space, and when you're doing everything else, you don't want to clog it up with, you know, worms you might not necessarily use right then and there. So I basically just wait, and when I need more, I'll go and withdraw them. And I, of course, have a lot of worm farms because I like to fish. Now, my last tip is going to be about fishing bobbers. There is one fishing bobber in the Elder Woods that rises above the rest, and that is the lantern bobber. You can buy it from ENR store with some fishing metals. And because the Elder Woods is so dark, it's hard to see the bobbers, especially if you're like me and you have vision issues. So I love this lantern bobber. As you can see, that bright yellow ball is so much easier to see, and when you're out here trying to catch fish and keep them in your brackets, it's much easier to sit there and watch the bright yellow bobber compared to the regular like silver one that you're typically running with, or the Galdur ones. So I definitely recommend using the lantern bobber to help you see in some of the darker areas in the Elderwoods. And so that's my fishing tips. I'll see y'all later. Bye!